The content of this video is not medical advice or a substitute for physical therapy. Please consult your physician or physical therapist before starting any exercise program.
I want to share with you today some tips on sitting postures. I'm often asked whether various ways of sitting are bad or wrong when it comes to low back pain. So without passing judgment on how you sit, what I want to focus on is whether or not your habitual way of sitting, probably what you've been doing long before you developed low back pain, is possibly exacerbating your pain. So the posture I'm most often asked about is crossing the legs. Although this is a really common and easy way to sit for most people, if you've had low back pain, it can absolutely contribute to your pain, and here's why. The leg that's on the bottom, in this case my left leg, is being locked in place by my top leg and pulled both toward my midline and across. So I'm having to really stretch the muscles and fascia of my right leg in this case. They're being asked to really elongate and stretch. So if I have a tendency to have tightness down my right quad, my right thigh, or even my IT band, this area could get really uncomfortable really fast, or I could accommodate this pull by some tissues in my hip or even in my lower back having to give a little bit more. So you can see how over time this pull on my bottom leg can absolutely contribute to my back pain. So a better way to sit is going to be with either your legs together, and often it's sort of more easeful if your feet are off to one side, so you can put your knees together and have your feet off to one side, or even cross your ankles. So in this way, you don't have that same demand on those outer leg tissues. Now, the second posture that I get asked a lot about is sitting on your foot. So as I sit on my foot here, you can probably see that I'm being pushed away from the hip that's sitting on the foot. My left hip in this case is actually being jacked up by my foot being underneath it. And I don't know whether you can see it or not, but I'm actually having to lean my body back to the left to stay relatively upright while I'm speaking with you here. So that means the muscles of my trunk on my left side are having to pull me back to the left, and the ones on my right are having to release and accommodate that pull. All of those things can absolutely be problematic for my back. Of course, the other thing that can be really problematic is this jacked up hip itself, because if I'm prone to having a little bit of a pelvic asymmetry, in other words, my pelvic bone might rotate forward or slip upward a little bit, which can cause back discomfort, then this position can absolutely facilitate that. So a better way to sit, if I really must have my leg up, so this is often where people go to watch Netflix shows and movies and things like that. So you're sitting like this on your couch more than likely. So if you really must have your legs up, you can try sitting with your legs crossed. Right? So your legs up on the couch like this. Now I've got my pelvis level and I can have my legs up on the couch without jacking up one side or the other. Of course, your other alternative is to just sit with your feet down, but I know a lot of people like to have their legs up while they're watching movies. So I hope these tips were helpful to you. As always, if you find them helpful, share, share, share. We really appreciate your helping us get the word out. We want to serve as many people as we can. And of course, go ahead and click like and subscribe to the channel. I try to get these tips out every week for you. And of course, until next time, stay healthy and be well.